Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Miracle Mindset Monday for this week. Remember, with our Miracle Mindset Monday, this is just a generalized reading for the week. There are no personalized readings. If you would like your own personalized reading, then please feel free to go visit my website, awakeningmiracles.org. So for this week, we have our three beautiful decks. Good morning, Donna. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. So we have our three beautiful decks that we're going to be using. We have our Nature's Whisper. We have the Enchanted Map. And then we have the Gateway Oracle. Absolutely beautiful cards. So before we get into the reading for this week, hi Shirley, thanks for joining, thanks for being here. So before we get into the reading for this week, I want to tell you all about this awesome opportunity that I got. So normally for my birthday, I go to the New Age people and I go get an aura picture every year. It's just something that I really like to do. It's really enjoyable. And this year I called to make sure, number one, that they were open, and number two, that they were doing that service. Well, unfortunately, they were open, but they were no longer doing that service, which was absolutely fine. So I contacted a friend of mine, Helene Matz, and she has like this little device. It's called a Healy. And she basically, can do basically an aura picture for you. And I thought, well, I'm up for it. Like, I want my aura picture. I get one every year, so definitely want to, try this out. So we did the aura picture, and it was really interesting and completely different from anything else that I'm really used to. I'm used to just getting a picture of, the colors of my aura and a brief little, it's a piece of paper that's like, this is what this color means, this is what this color means, and you're done. The Healy, on the other hand, went into different, very in-depth analysis of the aura. And then there was like this program that you could do, like where she would send the frequencies to you. So it was really amazing. So if you're interested in aura pictures, if you're interested in like frequency healings, definitely go check out Helene's page. And I will post that in the comments below, the link to her page. It's Mind, Body, Spirit, Light, Coach, and Healing. But like I said, I will definitely put that down in the comments below for you guys. But I just wanted to let you know that that was something that I really enjoyed getting. And it was a lot more in depth than what I normally get. So, yay! So let's jump into our reading for this week. And so first we're going to go to the Nature's Whisper Oracle card deck. And we're going to see what beautiful messages come from here for this week. Oh my goodness, well, we get a very vibrant energy today. The cards are just coming on out. Oh, beautiful. All right, then we just need one more. Oh my goodness, okay. So let's see what beautiful energies we are working with this week. Ooh, okay, so we got some beautiful energies here that we're going to be working with. So let's first start out with this one. Maintain your childlike spirit, number 27. So this week, what we're really asked to do this week is to be like children and to maintain our childlike wonder. All too often in the world, what we do is we say we know something. And we're like, oh, I know this. I know that. I know. Well, the minute that you say that you know something is the minute that actually everything becomes less wondrous. So instead of staring and just being like, oh, I know how that flower grows. Instead, I wonder how that flower grows. And just getting back into I wonder, and that childlike wonder, that sense of spontaneity. Because that's another thing, as we begin to grow, we get very structured. We get very much in a routine. And, when it comes to intuition, I can tell you, intuition is not about routine. It's not about, anything like that. What it is about is spontaneous guidance and just kind of in the moment, right then, right there. And that's where children are. They are in that moment. So that's our first card for this week. Hi, Helene. So actually, I just told everyone about the Healy experience that I had and where they can contact you at. Good morning, Robin. Thanks for joining. Good morning, Patricia. Thanks for joining. Good morning, Barb. Thanks for joining. So our next card actually goes really well with maintain your childlike spirit because it's vulnerability. And, if we really look at children are not afraid to say that they don't know. Where, we as adults may be like, oh, I have to know. And, we immediately go search it up on Google or Yahoo or whatever. Morning, Lorraine. Thanks for joining. And so we immediately go look it up on, Google, social media. And instead, let's just be in that state of, it's okay that I don't know. It's totally fine. And it's okay to ask someone, that you may think knows more, and ask them. But we have to be in that energy of being vulnerable, of being willing to admit when we don't know something, being willing to admit different things to ourselves, regardless if it's, I'm not really happy here, or I'm not, I'm content, but I'm not fulfilled. And being willing to admit that. And like I said, children are very vulnerable. They will just kind of say it like it is, and that's it. They'll just say, this is how I'm feeling about a situation. Now, as we do that, as we really maintain our childlike wonder, we get into that vulnerability, there's going to be this heightened sense of vitality. And that comes because you're actually clearing out the old. You're letting go of all that stuff that held you back, all of the feelings that you have held back. And so that's really going to lighten you up. Good morning, Penny. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. And as you do that, you have to know you're worth doing that work. You have to know that it is 100% worth it to do these things because they're going to lighten you up. They're going to help you. Which then leads us to our last card from this deck, which is, make that wish. Be like that child and be willing to wish. And this doesn't mean just be like, oh, I wish that I had more vitality, or I wish that. No. We need to be like children. And when we wish for something, we have to be in that belief that it is going to come true. Okay? Because if you think about a child, when they pick up, one of those little dandelions, and you tell them to, good morning, Nanushka, you tell them, blow on it and make a wish. They are doing it with sincerity, and they are doing it from their heart of hearts. They are being vulnerable, they are being honest, and they blow on it because they believe that their wish is going to come true. They believe that as they blow on that, it's going to take it to the angels, take it to God, or it's just going to manifest. It's going to grow. They don't know how, but they are making that wish. So we have to be willing to do that as well. So let's do a quick little review of the cards that we've just pulled right now. Good morning, Karen. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. So our first one was maintain your childlike spirit. Maintain your childlike wonder. Be willing to admit that you don't know something, and be willing to really be spontaneous, to be silly, to have fun. Remember, last week's overall message was don't take yourself too seriously. And I really feel like these cards are a continuation of that message. To be like children, don't take yourself too seriously. As you begin that, to maintain your childlike wonder, as you begin to really step into that, there's that sense of vulnerability. There's that sense of being like, you know what, I don't know and it's okay, or I'm not happy and that's okay. And really being open and vulnerable. And it doesn't mean with anyone else. It can just be yourself. And as you are open and vulnerable with yourself, there comes this heightened vitality because you are really releasing all that no longer serves you, all of those pent up emotions, all of those thoughts. You're really allowing yourself to do that, which then kind of clears you out energetically, emotionally, mentally, and it could even clear you out physically if you're willing to kind of get rid of some of the stuff that may remind you of that or that just doesn't serve anymore. And then know that you are worth doing that work and know that it is worthy of you to do. We have to be willing to do that kind of work. And then we're making that wish and knowing it's going to come true. We're not wishing from the stent of, I want to put my happiness out until tomorrow, or I want, the day, hopefully tomorrow will be better. No, we are being in that childlike wonder. We are being in that childlike spirit and being like, you know what? I just wish this, and knowing that that wish is going to manifest, that it's going to come true because you're making it from your heart. You're making it from sincerity. You're not saying, I wish I had more money or I wish I had more of this. You're simply making this wish of, I really wish that I could have the abundance that is already given me. I wish that I understood more. I wish that I could be more spontaneous. I wish, those kinds of things. That's where we're going with this. We're making a wish of sincerity from our hearts. If you don't know what that is, you don't know how to make that wish because you've forgotten, that's okay. Here's a great tool you can use. It's one I use consistently and it always works out for me. And it's simply just putting your hands over your heart chakra, or you can even put it over your heart. Doesn't matter which one you do. And you just sit there for just a minute and you take a deep breath in through the nose. You hold it. You let it out the mouth. Take a deep breath in through the nose. You hold it. You let it out the mouth. You take a deep breath in through the nose. You hold it. And then you let out the sound. Then what you do is you simply say, the wish of my heart is, my heart says. And then from there, you just, whatever picture, whatever word, whatever emotion, whatever pops into your head, that's your wish. Because that's what love is telling you. That's what the essential essence of you is really telling you. So now that we have that, let's go to the enchanted map and let's see how we can really get to these spaces and these energies that we were just told about. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Okay. So we have one. I think that might be the only one that's going to come from this deck, because I think that's the only message that we really need to get there. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Actually, you know what? We're going to have 4 because I really like this card too. So our first card is listening. That's how we're going to get to this childlike wonder, this spontaneity, really listening to our intuition, listening to the truth of who we are by listening. The spirit isn't loud. Spirit doesn't yell at you. Now, it can be very I guess the best word is authoritative, and it can say, hey, go do this. Go do this. And that's what it will tell you. But we have to be willing to listen and let go of the mind chatter. The mind will the ego mind will just do this all day. It's like a little bird, just chirps. Beep, 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 beep. And it's really hard for us to hear spirit when we're really listening to that chirping. So we're really asked to listen this week. As we listen for this week, we really need to be aware of our thoughts, aware of when we're like, well, I know this. Well, I know this is going to happen. We need a minute that you say, I know what's going to happen, or I know how this is going to work out. And you're doing it from that place of ego by projecting a past event onto a present event. You need to stop yourself right then, right there. And you need to be willing to let that thought go. You need to be willing to forgive it. So that way that situation doesn't repeat itself. Because that's what we're doing a lot of the times, is when it comes to situations that look very similar to past situations, we tend to project that past situation and that outcome onto the present one. And then guess what happens? That past situation then becomes our present one. We don't want that anymore. So we have to be willing to listen. We have to be willing to be aware. We have to, and in having that willingness to be aware, having that willingness to listen, once again, it's just like that heightened vitality. We come to life. We really start to live our lives from that spirit-guided place instead of from the ego-driven place. And notice there's that big difference there. Ego-driven, spirit-guided. So you really have to ask, do I want to be driven by my ego to do things I don't necessarily want to do? Number one, do I want to be driven by my ego into, old patterns? Or do I want to be guided into something beautiful, new, and exciting? And remember, guidance is, I'm going to take your hand and I'm going to gently lead you. Driven is, okay, this is where we're going. Get over it. So which one do you really want? To be driven and just be like, well, this is where you're going. This is where we're stopping. This is where you're getting out. Or let me help you. Let me guide you. Let me really show you the truth. So that is from the Enchanted map. And now we're going to go to the Gateway Oracle. And we're going to see what beautiful messages come out for this week. And just a reminder for those of you who are interested in getting your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday, this is something that you can go look up on my website at awakeningmiracles.org. It is your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday. Remember, this is just a generalized reading for the week. So let's see what beautiful questions and affirmations we can use for this week in these beautiful energies. Okay. So let's see what beautiful energies or beautiful affirmations we can work with for this week. Beautiful. Okay. So first, we have proceed softly. My inner power grows in moments of quietude. Absolutely beautiful. So let's see what questions we can ask ourselves with proceeding softly. What is the underlying wisdom for me regarding being cautious? Is there any area of my life where I should slow down? Should I view a certain person or situation in my life differently? How could I do that? So those are the questions for proceeding softly. Then we have, as we proceed softly, we are renewing our life, or renew your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. This is the third card that talks about new energy, new vitality. So that's really a big theme this week, is as you release the old, as you let that stuff go, you're going to have this heightened vitality. So let's see what renewing your life has in the way of questions that we can ask ourselves. Is there anything I need to purify or clear out of my life? And remember, that can go right back to our vulnerability card. Is there something that you need to admit to yourself? Is there something that you really need to come clean about? Maybe it's not necessarily about getting rid of physical things. Maybe it's about getting rid of emotional things. Maybe it's about facing beliefs that you have and being willing to say, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I'm willing to choose a new belief. Is there anything that needs to be renewed or re-examined in my life? How can purification help me become a clearer channel for myself and spirit? Really beautiful question there. I'm going to read it again. How can purification help me to become a clearer channel for myself and for spirit? So then we're going to go to the very last one, which is trusting your intuition. My life is truly guided, trusting my intuition. So let's go to that card, trusting, taking, here it is. How can I access my intuition even more? If I knew what my higher self was trying to tell me, what would it be saying? What is blocking my intuition, and how can I heal this? So once again, beautiful questions to ask yourself about, your own intuition. How can I, if you're already in touch with your intuition, how can I access even deeper levels of my intuition? If you're having a hard time trusting your intuition, then you simply ask that question. Why can't I trust my intuition? What is stopping me from really trusting it? And, there are so many different tools and techniques, for getting in touch with your intuition. The cards are just so apt for me at the moment. Thank you for sharing. Oh, wonderful, Trinity. I'm so glad I could be of service to you. My partner of 3 years, we are expecting, but he says he can't have children, so he is now denying our baby. Well, if you are... We're expecting, but he says he can't have children. Well, we will see what beautiful fabulousness occurs from there. Well, congratulations on having a baby. So, yay! So it's all about this week. It's all about being in that childlike wonder. It's all about being vulnerable as we are vulnerable and admitting to ourselves all, the stuff that we need to, maybe getting rid of some physical stuff, maybe getting rid of some emotional stuff or some beliefs. We have that heightened vitality. We have to know that we are worthy of this. And then we're going to make that wish. And we're making the wish from our hearts. We're not making it from our heads. We're making it from love. And then from there, we have, we're going to listen. We're going to have the Wizard of Awareness, really be aware, coming to life. And then we're going to proceed softly. We're going to renew and we're going to trust. My son says he doesn't know how to trust his intuition. That's actually a really common thing that a lot of people say they don't know how to trust their intuition. It's not that they don't know how. It is that they have forgotten how. That's all that it is. It's not that anyone doesn't know how to trust their intuition. It's they've forgotten how to trust their intuition. And the reason that they've forgotten how to trust their intuition is because they've become very, perhaps number one, analytical, and they become very suspicious of life. And they've kind of maybe have the belief that life can't be easy, that it's all up to them, that they have to figure it out all on their own. Because we oftentimes forget that, we try to solve a problem from here down. The mind, the body. This is where we try to solve the problem. We forget that we can solve a problem from here up. This is where intuition is. Intuition is from here up. This Thursday, schedule an appointment for abortion. Either I go through this cards helping me to put my foot down and keep my baby. I'm blessed that we are expecting. Zanger says his old. Well, I am so glad that you have decided to put your foot down and say, this is what it is. I am going to have this baby. So I am very grateful that I was able to be of service in that way and help you. So absolutely beautiful. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for being here. And Lorraine, we just send our greatest prayers to you. And actually, you know what? Let's just do a prayer for everyone right now. And we're just going to say, and you can use whatever higher power. You don't have to use the word God. I'm just going to use it. And I'm just going to say, dear God, we thank you so much in advance that you are going to teach us how to remain as our childlike innocence. Help us to remember that our innocence is not held in the body, but in the truth of who we are, which is your divine spark. And dear God, we just thank you in advance that you will shower each one of us with joy, happiness, and abundance, that you will calm our hearts, calm our minds, so that we can hear your voice gently guiding us to the fulfillment of our greatest heart's desire. We thank you in advance for the truth that you will be showing and revealing to us. Thy will be done. Amen. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. And remember, don't think that you know. Be willing to admit that you don't and know that that's okay.